Hey everybody, showing you what you can do with a few of your long-term food storage items. If you got sugar, flour, if you'll have access to milk either via goats or cattle or whatever. They make this stuff in Kenya, so if they can make it there, maybe you can make it here. It's called Mandazi, and all Mandazi is a type of fry bread. So here's the little list we got, and start out. We need a big bowl. Start out with an egg. Crack him in there. And I cheated a little bit. This is actually the second time I've made it, so I'm a pro at it now. But I just got to rinse that off my hands. I'm psycho when it comes to eggs. So, alright. Half cup sugar. Got our half cup here. And this stuff is actually pretty good. I took a great big old bag of it to work on, what was it? Thursday of last week. And the whole bag was gone by maybe 1 o'clock. So that gives you any idea how much everybody liked it. So I got some friends from East Africa, and a buddy of mine, Richard, is actually the one that suggested that I try this. So with the egg here, and get rid of that. It's got raw egg all over it. What else we got? So egg, half cup sugar, just like that. Sugary egg. Get half cup milk, and so I got some milk right here. This is super easy to make. It's pretty good too. So I'm wanting to learn how to make actual bread, but this may be the first step in the process. So, all right. So half cup milk, 2 tablespoons of butter melted, and I've got that right up here. Excuse my tiny kitchen. I live in an apartment, and it's not exactly ideal for being a prepper. Could be not ideal for a hoarder either. People that hoard stuff, you know. There could be a fine line between you and somebody like that. So we've got butter, milk, sugar, egg. We got 2 cups of white flour. Got that right here. Alright. Maybe a little bit more in the cup, but it'll work, right? Shouldn't be an exact science, but may use a little bit more flour before it's over. Alright. I got the flour in there. 2 cups. 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Little clever girl here. Get rid of the sugar. Small kitchens are okay for people who don't cook or don't like to do anything. I believe the next place I get is going to be a little bit bigger. So it's 2 of these. Just kind of sprinkle that around. It's another. There's actually another Kenyan recipe that I'm going to wind up sharing too. It's not exactly Kenyan. It's called samosas, and it got started in India and Pakistan, on the Indian subcontinent. And but samosas, they're Kenyan style, anyways. It's pretty good stuff. Okay, it's all in. I've washed my hands, so now it's just a matter of mixing all this stuff up into a dough. Now you don't have to worry about it letting it rise or anything like that. It's going to be no need for that. So you mix it up until it's soft and not sticky like it is right now. So you just kind of keep working that flour and everything in. And it kind of feels cool, smushing between your fingers. I ain't no, what is that, Iron Chef or anything, but I tell you, I intend on learning how to make more stuff that people frequently eat in countries that aren't as well off as the U.S. If we ever head that way, we might have access to about the same amount of ingredients. So this is really sticky. It's really smushing around in there. So might have to get some more flour. That ought to help it become not so sticky. Just turn it into a kind of a thick dough. So now it's turning into kind of a ball. Work that around. Like this. Scoop up whatever's left on the bottom of the bowl. Kind of work that in there too. And being that I'm such a pro at making this now, it's kind of cool. Okay, it's still pretty sticky, so we're going to wind up adding just a little bit more flour, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball that. Okay. Don't get too much, but I may have. Okay. Just kind of keep working it around, working it around. It's no longer sticky now, so that's good. There's actually a barbecue tonight at my apartment building, and I may go ahead and take this fried up, take it down there and share it with people in my apartment building. There's a lot of Somalis that live in these apartment buildings, so I don't know if they have Mandazi in Somalia. Can't imagine why not. They're neighbors to Kenya. And the nickname Kenyans now is Mzungu Mandazi, if you know what that is. Okay, now we've got it kneaded into a ball. It's not too sticky. It's should be ready to roll out and cut up. So what we're going to do is set that aside, put the milk up, move the flour out of the way. Well, I guess we need that. So flour the countertop here. And the best thing I've found, if you don't have a rolling pin, is to use the roundest glass you can find. Should In my case, it's going to be this guy right here. So, grab your dough ball and start working it out until it's about a 1/2 inch thick. This might help. Apply a little bit more of that flour to the surface. May go ahead and just roll it out just a little bit thinner. So, like you say, I want about a 1/2 inch. You want it kind of as square as possible too. So you're going to wind up cutting it up into triangles or circles, or whatever you want. Not up for me to say. Okay, we'll grab a knife, scoop that into the bowl. Need that out more. Alright, now just kind of take your knife and cut you some strips, about 3 inches wide. Should be good. Super easy to make, real quick, and it'll make you popular at the office. Cut him across like that. Okay. Cut him down like this. So you wind up with a bunch of little triangles. And that's kind of the traditional way to do it. Mandazi. Mzungu Mandazi. Mzungu in Swahili means white folks, or white guy. And that's what they refer to us as when we're over there. So, this is Mzungu Mandazi. There's a park, since we're talking about Africa, there's a park in Kenya called Tsavo. And it's actually 2 national parks, one called East Tsavo, one West Tsavo. And in the 1800s, there was a railroad bridge being built, and they made a movie about it here called The Ghost in the Darkness. And the movie had Val Kilmer and what's the other guy's name? Oh, Dustin Hoffman? No, wasn't it? I can't remember. Anyways, it was a movie about these 2 lions that killed 140 men in about 6 months. And genetically, they're the only lions of their type that exist. They only exist in that part of the world, in that park. The males don't have manes. That was something that the creators of the movie failed to exhibit. But the lions look pretty weird, so maybe they didn't think that would work in Hollywood. But there's not very many of them. But 2 male lions killed 140 men in approximately 6 months. You can Google it. The Lions of Tsavo. They're on exhibit now in the Natural History Museum in Chicago. So if you get bored, Wikipedia, Google, whatever. And so now you have your Mandazi squares. And I'll just break this up a little bit. Throw it in there too. Now we fry it. Alright, here we go with part 2 of Mzungu Mandazi. If there's any Kenyan people watching, they might find that a little strange or humorous or whatever, but we got our triangular shaped Mandazi ready to fry. We'll just drop them in just like that and get them to frying in Luann peanut oil here. I keep a few jugs of that around about all the time. So super easy to make, and boy, they're good. And maybe I can squeeze one more in there. Okay. Maybe one more in right here. There we go. Kind of get them covered up in that oil. They puff up a little bit, but you don't want to get them too thick because then the inside won't be cooked all the way through. While we're frying these, we can go over a couple other things in Swahili, if you want. And so lion in Swahili is Simba. So if you've seen The Lion King, you know, the main cartoon character is called Simba. Simba is actually the Kenyan or Swahili word for lion. So now you know that. That song Hakuna Matata from the movie is actually a greeting. Flip one up and take a look. Huh? You see they're puffing up a little bit. They're a little thicker than what they was. Now while these guys are frying up, you can see I've got the bowl full of them here, plus what's in there. While they're frying up, you can do any number of things. You could drink a beer, or you could call your mom, or you could watch a YouTube video. Well, let's see how they're coming along here. Looks like we got one getting brown on the bottom. Oh yeah, it's looking good. The middle one there is really puffing up. This being my second time making them, I kind of folded the dough over before, and so there was like layers, like the flaky crust dough or whatever. And so when I fried them, they kind of came apart. But these should kind of hold together a little bit better. See them kind of a little bit apart right there, but I'm new to this whole dough making, bread making kind of thing. I'll flip some of them over here, and they got too many in the pan. Oh, and try not to splash hot oil all over yourself, like I just did. May want to let it get a little bit more brown. I may flip them one more time before it's over. I want to burn them, but look at that. Almost like a sugar cookie or a donut. I don't know, but everybody in the office seemed to like them a lot. You just might find that it might benefit you to learn how to do some things that they do in areas of the world where they don't have as much as we have here. And if you do learn how to do with just a little, then you might find out that nothing's going to stop you when it comes time to change your lifestyle. Whether that's a personal choice or whether it's an external factor that causes you to have to do that. Boy, these look good. Look at that. Mandazi. Since they puffed up a little bit thick, I'm going to cook them just a little bit longer. Make sure they get good and cooked all the way through. Here we go. Boy, these look good. Just kind of drain the oil off of them a little bit. Down on the plate. Just like that. Well, I'll tell you what. Good stuff. Get this big guy right here. I didn't get super exact when I was cutting them up, but no big deal. Move it up, and there you have it. That is Mzungu Mandazi. Good, good, good stuff. I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit, and while I'm doing that, I'm gonna get these started.